Hey guys, it's Hogan here. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to create an e-commerce website using WordPress and WooCommerce. So it's going to be a complete beginner's guide on showing you how to create an online store. So by the end of this video, you'll have a fully functional, mobile responsive e-commerce website ready to accept payments, and you'll basically be able to sell anything that you want to anywhere around the world. So obviously in the background, I do have inventory, and I'll also walk you through how we actually pick and pack and how we send it off, but you can actually get started without any inventory, and I'll walk you through that as well. So before we actually get started, I'm actually going to jump in the screen and walk you through exactly what you need to get started and the costs involved to start an e-commerce website using WordPress and WooCommerce.
So what exactly do you need to get started, and what are the costs? So first of all, everything that you need is going to be online. So it's going to work whether you have a Mac or a PC, and it's going to work anywhere in the world as long as you have internet connection. So in terms of the website cost, the first thing that you'll need is going to be a domain name. So your domain name is basically going to be your website name, for example, yourbrandname.com or yourname.com. And that normally costs between $12 to $15 per year. And some other sort of domain extensions may cost a little bit more or a little bit less, but generally that's the price range. But I'll show you guys how to actually get started for free for your domain name for the first year. And the second thing we'll need is hosting. So hosting is going to be your sort of computer that's on 24/7, and we're basically hiring some storage space which is going to store our website files such as the text and the images, and that allows people to access your website 24/7 all around the world. And that normally costs between $3 to $5 per month, but I think there is some kind of discount going on right now, and I'll show you how to get that as well. The other thing we need is going to be WordPress. So WordPress is actually going to be free. So it's a free content management system, and a content management system basically means that it allows you to create a website without any technical knowledge, like without any coding, and you'll be able to install that when you actually get your hosting. The other thing we need is WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is actually a plugin for WordPress. So plugin is sort of just like an app for like your phone. It adds that extra functionality. So it's going to add the e-commerce functionality onto your WordPress website. For example, adding in products, adding shipping zones, like adding the payment options, allowing you to create an online store. And then you'll need themes and plugins. So some themes are free and some are paid. Same with plugins, but we'll be working with mainly just free themes and plugins, but you can upgrade later on if you decide to. So the other thing that we need besides the website cost is going to be like the inventory or your products. If you have your own products, great. Like for example, if you make your own products, you have basically manufactured it already and you have those in hand, then I'll show you guys how to add those products onto your store so you can literally just start selling them, without any worries. Then the second way to get started is print on demand. So print on demand basically allows you to design sort of specific products. You're basically able to design your logo or a specific sort of design and add it onto, like, for example, like a t-shirt, clothing, pants. It could be like even like a mug and other items as well. And then you can add those items onto your website. And if people purchase, then you'll be able to submit that order to the print on demand company, and they'll basically print that design on that specific product and they'll ship that product to your customer. So you're able to get started for basically really low capital. I'm not going to say free because hopefully you guys are going to, get some samples and do some photography and things like that. But generally that's like a very low cost way of getting started. And another way to get started is with dropshipping. So I think you guys know what dropshipping is. Basically, you don't have to have the inventory in hand. You can import those products onto your store and then basically start selling it. If someone purchases, then you'll purchase that from your supplier. Your supplier will ship directly to your customer. So you basically don't have to touch that product or put a lot of money down. I'll show you guys how to get started with both those methods as well by using a website and also some plugins. Then there's the traditional way, which is like manufacturers, which I think most people are familiar with. You can source it on places like Alibaba.com, and I'll walk you through briefly how to actually find a manufacturer for your products as well. And the other thing that I recommend, but not necessarily like right now, is that you might want to register like your business or company name in your specific country, because you're going to need those details when you are signing up for payment gateways, like for example, Stripe, which basically allows your website to accept credit cards and PayPal. So you can use your personal PayPal to get started like I did, but when you actually get some sales, you probably want to register for like a business PayPal account to keep everything organized. And I recommend also to sign up or, register for like your own business bank account in your country as well, so that, everything can be separate from your personal. Otherwise, it's going to get really messy. Like if you just have everything going into your personal accounts and things like that later on when you need to do accounting. That's basically all you need to start an WooCommerce store, e-commerce store. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to get started. So the first thing that we need is going to be your website name and your hosting account. So you can actually get that in the link below, or you can go to hoganchua.com/hostinger, and that's going to take you to where you can actually get your domain name and your hosting in one place. So you can go to Hogan, so HOGANCHUA.com/hostinger, HOSTINGER, and then hit on enter. So that is my affiliate link. So if you do use that link to purchase, then I may receive a commission for that. And that basically helps support my channel and free videos. If we scroll down over here, so right now they are running a big discount. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that. But here we have 3 different plans. If you scroll down, you got the premium plan, business plan, and the cloud startup. So what I do recommend for most e-commerce stores is the business plan, because you do get sort of enough resources for you to actually run your WooCommerce store. Because sometimes if you're running like an e-commerce store, you do need a little bit of a better sort of computer. Otherwise, it's going to be really slow, especially if you have a lot of products. If you know that you only are adding just a few products and you are on a budget, you can get the premium plan. All these plans will actually work. For the cloud startup plan, it is probably a little bit more than what you need at the moment if you're just starting. But if you are sort of like an established business, or if you know that you'll be adding hundreds of products, then that's what I recommend. These plans is just sort of like if you're getting a computer, sometimes if you know that you are gaming, or maybe if you're like doing video editing, you need a better, or a better higher spec computer. And this is basically what it is. This one is like the mid-tier one, which is quite good. And you can also create multiple websites as well, like not just one website. You can host up to 100 websites on that same hosting plan. Yeah, so it's really good. And I'm going to recommend just clicking on choose plan. And then from there, it's going to navigate us to the carts and where we're able to choose the billing period. So here, they automatically push you to the 48 month. If that's a bit long for you, then you can obviously get 12 months or 24 months. I don't really recommend the month-to-month plan, because that's going to charge $14 per month. And yeah, so next month is going to be $14.50. And they're also going to charge a setup fee as well. So I recommend 12 months or longer. The main difference between like the 12 months and the 24 and 48 is going to be like the renewal. So this one renews at $13 or $14 per month in a year's time. The 24-month plan, it renews at a cheaper rate. So this might be a better deal for some people. That's only $78. And also 48 months, that renews like $1 less. And that is a little bit less as well for the per month price. So because this is a tutorial, I'm just going to get 12 months. And you can also use my coupon code, which is HOGANCHUA. So HOGANCHUA. And then you can click on apply. And then that's going to give you a further discount as well. So in total, that's less than 40 USD to get started. And it includes a free domain name as well. And that's really, really awesome. So we're going to click on continue. So over here, you can create an account by logging into your Google account, or just enter in an email and set up a new password, and then click on continue. So what you need to do now is enter in your billing information as well as your payment information. And once you're ready, you can click on submit payment. So once you've made the payment, then it's going to redirect you and it's going to ask you some questions. You can go through that or you can skip. So I'm just going to select creating it for myself. Next, and I'm creating a website. And we're going to be using the WordPress content management system. They also do have the hosting and website builder, which is a lot sort of simpler in terms of building a website, but also in terms of the functionality, it's a bit simpler too. But we're going to be using WordPress and I'll show you how. So let's click on next here. So this is going to create the login for your WordPress account to log into your WordPress account to edit the website. So you're going to put your email here. select the language and also the add in your password too. So I'm going to select and add my own password. So I'm going to just set in my own password here. Okay. And then click on next. And then what type of website? I'm going to select online store. Next. Okay, so here it's going to ask you basically to import some templates. We're going to select build from scratch. And it's also going to ask you to add some starter themes as well. We are going to be using the Blocksy theme, but I do want to click on add a blank site because some people might be following and they might have just installed WordPress from another hosting provider. So I want to show you how to actually do it within the hosting dashboard, or the WordPress dashboard, sorry. So we're going to click on add a blank site, and these are everything that's going to be installed here. So what I'm going to do is just skip this actually. And this is going to ask what domain name do I want for my website. Here, if you're not ready, then you can use a temporary domain name at first. And then once you're ready, then you can add that in a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and use a temporary domain for now. And then here it's going to ask you, where is your target audience based? So basically, this is going to choose a server which is closest to your audience. If you choose one that is really far, then it's going to load a little bit slower. So you do want to choose a server which is closest. Let's say, for example, you are serving United States, then you want to pick, one of these ones. Okay. If you're serving Australia, then you might pick a server in Indonesia. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to choose the Indonesia one. Okay. And then click on next. And that's going to go through and install WordPress for you. So that's going to take a few minutes. So I'll come back. So once WordPress has been installed, then it's automatically going to redirect you into the backend or the dashboard area of your WordPress website. And as you can see, so this is the back of your website, and the front of your website, you can click on visit site. When you hover over the top, the home icon, and then we can open in a new tab. And your website right now is going to look really plain because this is just the default without the theme and plugins and everything like that. If you are following like another tutorial or you've gotten another host, then you might not actually see all this Hostinger onboarding thing because this is specific to Hostinger. So if you click on dashboard over here, then it's going to take you to the same dashboard that basically everyone will see once they install WordPress. Okay, so if you click on hosting over here, it's going to take you to the Hostinger tools, and it's also going to take you to a quick access to the H panel. So the H panel is basically where you control like the hosting and add on the domains and also the billing and stuff like that as well. If you do want to add in a domain name, which is included if you get the Hostinger 12-month plan or above, then you can. So over here, if you go here, you can click on connect. So if you are not sure how to actually get to this point, you can go back to the main menu. Let's say just click over here, right? Click on the websites. You can go to the dashboard area, okay? And then that's going to take you back over here to connect your domain. So you can click on connect, and from here you can choose a domain. So this one is just going to be, I'm just going to call it woo tutorial maybe 123.com. It might be available. Okay, so it is available. So this one is so let's see if we got the .com version. So wootutorial123.com. So this one over here. So the first year is $0. Click on next, and that's going to help us register. So for the primary information, I'm just going to enter my details, and you can enter that as well. Okay, and this is basically going to take a few moments for it to review contact information. And once it's ready, it's going to automatically connect. So as you can see, the domain name here is the temporary domain. Later on, once it's approved, should be like a few hours or so, then it should update to your domain that you've actually selected before. So we're going to go ahead and click on go back. And this is going to take you back to the dashboard here. So let's just close these ones for now. And then let's go back to our dashboard section over here. Okay, so let's pause it. Okay, so right now it can't be reached. It might have actually propagated to the new domain already. So I'm going to type in woo tutorial 123 and then click on enter and see if that's going to work. Okay, so that actually took a few minutes. It actually propagated to the domain already. So let's try and log back in. So this is going to be the details that you set in earlier. I'm going to click on login, and there we go. So I'm going to actually save that. You can log out by hovering on the top over here and clicking on log out. So if you do want to log back into your website, then what I recommend is actually bookmarking this page just to your bookmarks. Okay, so to log in, you can type in /wp-admin, and that's always going to take you to the login page. So for example, like this, okay, and then you can just enter in your details over here and then click on login, right? So that's the very basics of it. So what I'm going to go through now is the very basics of setting up your WordPress website first, like getting everything, all the settings correct. So the first thing that I generally like to do is I like to just clean things up a little bit in the dashboard area. So we can actually dismiss this on top. You can also go to the screen options on top over here, and you can choose which ones you want to display. So sometimes you don't need it, so you can actually just remove it like this. So depending on what you want to keep there, you can leave it, but that really clears things up a little bit. Then the next thing that I like to do is I like to go to settings and then click on permalinks. So I like to make sure that my URL structure is set to post name over here. So essentially when you are adding a page or adding a post or your products, then it's going to give you a very clear sort of URL structure, which is good for search engine optimizations and also just easy on the eye as well. Sometimes when you install WordPress, it's default set to the plain one, which is this equals p equals 123. You do want to set it to post name. Once you do that, you can click on save. So then once you have done that, then we can go ahead and actually install the theme. So we can go to appearance over here, hover over it, and then you can click on themes. So by default, we have the 2025 theme active. So it's just a very basic blogging theme. So we're going to click on add new theme. And there are quite a number of free themes that you can choose from. But the one that we're going to be using is the Blocksy theme. So I think this is a really good starter theme for e-commerce stores. So you can type in block and then sy, so Blocksy. And then it's this one over here. So we can click on install. So they do also have a premium version if you do want to upgrade. But this is going to be just a free one, and that's enough to get started for most people. So once that is installed, you have to activate it. So once you have activated, it's going to recommend you to install the Blocksy companion. And what I'll recommend you doing is to actually install that because that's going to allow you to install the starter template or the starter website. So on the top over here, click on install the companion. Okay, so now the Blocksy companion is installed. So what we can do is hover over here on the top, and you can right click and visit site. Just open it in a new tab so you can see the changes currently. So it's just changed it a little bit, but we're going to go back over here, and you want to click on Blocksy, okay, and then click on starter sites. And then from here, we're able to choose a starter site that you can actually import onto your store, basically speeding up the process of building it out. So over here, we can click on the categories, okay, and then select e-commerce. So here, some of them are actually the pro plan. So we're going to scroll down, and there is one which is called the Homey one, so HOMI, okay, and we can import it. You can try the other ones as well. You can click on preview and see how that looks depending on what you want for your store. But generally, customizing it is going to be quite similar if you're using the same exact theme. So I'm going to go ahead and install the Homey starter template, import. Okay, so over here, I'm going to select install a child theme. So basically, this is going to allow you to make changes to this theme without breaking the original theme. So sometimes when you make like code changes and you want to upgrade the theme, update the theme, it might actually like break the website, or the changes might not actually sort of save. Then this is going to help. You can read a little bit more about it. It's a little bit complicated, but I do generally recommend that. So click on next. In terms of the page builder, we're going to be using the Elementor page builder. So these are some other page builders as well. So we're going to use this one. This is the most popular one, and it's free. Click on next. So it's going to ask us to install and activate some plugins that we need. So WP Forms, the Elementor page builder, WooCommerce, which is the plugin for WordPress to add the e-commerce functionality. And here we're going to import the content, so you can delete that content as well. And here it's just going to be a clean install. So it's going to remove the previous content that we have install. And that's just going to take a few minutes. Okay, so the starter site has successfully imported. So here we can click on view site, and that's going to show the changes that it has made. So as you can see, we have a complete e-commerce store up and running. So what I'm going to show you now is basically how to edit it, configure like all the settings that you need for your e-commerce store. So what I want to show you now is how to add in a product onto your e-commerce site. So I'm going to show you guys how to add just a single product, and then I'll walk you through how to add in a variable product. So this is if you have the products in your hand already. If you don't have any products to sell yet, I'll also walk you through how to get started with print on demand and dropshipping in around 10-15 minutes. This is also very important to watch because I'm going to show you some things that you need to know. So over here on the home page, you can navigate to products. Sometimes it can also be the shop page as well. So I'm going to open link in a new tab. And these are the products that we have imported with the starter template. Okay, so it looks really great. One thing to note is that when you're uploading your images for your website, especially for the main image, you want to keep it like a clear background, just like this. So this one has like a light gray background. You can also have a white background, and keep it like all consistent. Like for example, like the size that you upload, I do recommend like 800 times 800 pixels or like 1000 times 1000. And keep it all very consistent. Otherwise, sometimes the photos are going to look wonky and it just doesn't look very professional. Okay, so these little things really matter. So let's say, for example, you do take an image and it does have a background, then you can go to something like remove.bg and you can upload your image, like for example, these black sandals. So we can open that and upload it, and it's essentially just going to remove the background on that, like something like that, right? So that's going to take the background away. And you can also add in a background. So for example, click over here, okay? And then you want to find just the light gray like this. And then we'll click on done. And then we can download that in HD. Like for example, if you do have the paid subscription, you can also do it like on canva.com as well. If you have the pro version, I think you can actually get the free trial. Or if you have Photoshop, or I'm sure there's other sort of online photo editing softwares out there. That image, we can, download that onto our computer and use it for our shop page. So let's go back over here and let's go ahead and add in your first product. We can actually navigate to plus over here on top and click on products, or you can go back to your dashboard section and then scroll down to products here and just click on that. So these are the products which have been imported with the template. So you can go ahead and actually just delete it if you want to, but we're just going to go ahead and add a new one. So let's say, for example, we want to add a new product. This one's going to be brown bag because I want to create like a sort of like maybe a online store that sells bags, brown bag. And then we're going to scroll down over here a little bit. And for the product image, set product image, and you can upload that from your computer. So I've uploaded that earlier, and then we can set in the product image. And here I've uploaded as 1000 by 1000. You can also edit image here to edit the size, but generally I recommend editing it on like Photoshop or just everything before you upload it. And you can put everything like in specific folders first, like all your products, keep everything very, very organized. And then we can click on set product image. So scrolling down over here, we have the product gallery. So here you can add additional images for your product. It could be like lifestyle shots, your product in use. And here you can add the image in different backgrounds. It doesn't really matter because it won't affect the shop page over here as it's not your main image. And then over here, you can enter in your product description. So I'm not gonna add this in yet because I'm gonna show you guys how you can use AI to sort of help you with generating your product description, because sometimes it can take quite a while to write that in, but using AI, it can really help you a lot. Here we've got the product categories. So this is going to be quite important, especially if you have a lot of products. You do probably want to have, when you hover over products, to actually have different product categories to help your customers navigate your page better. For this product here, it's going to be a bag. So we're going to add a new category. So let's say, for example, it's going to be a bag. We can add that in and deselect uncategorized. So if you have more types of bags, for example, this is like a backpack, you might have like duffel bags, you might have like gym bags, you might have maybe different leather bags or laptop bags, then what you probably want to do is to narrow down the categories even further. So for example, this is going to be the parent category. So we're going to create a child category. So for example, this one is backpack. Okay. The parent is going to be bag, and we're going to click on add new category, right? So that's going to create two. So what you can do is click on update, and then that's going to refresh. All right. So then it's going to be bag, and then you can also select backpack like that. So if you do want to edit the categories further, and for some reason you can't edit it here, like you might want to delete something, then you can navigate to categories on the left hand side here. So right click, open link in a new tab. And then here we can create the categories as well, set in the parent or the child categories, and edit everything here as well. So let's head back down here. For the product tags, this is going to help with the search function on your website. So let's say, for example, we go here and we are searching for a specific brand, specific color, or a type of bag, then you can add in descriptive words here. So for example, if you're selling multiple brands, then it could be the brand. It could be also like maybe the different type of leather. It could be like, yeah, type of leather or type of material, okay? And it could also be the color. So we can add that in like that. And then on the left-hand side here, for the product data, this is just going to be a single product, so a simple product. I'll show you guys how to add in a variable product in a minute. You can also set it to be a virtual product. So for example, if you're selling something that is not physical, like a PDF ebook, you can select that. And you can also select a downloadable as well. So if you want to be able to let them download a PDF, you can upload the file here as well. So I'm going to deselect that because this is a physical product. So for example, for the regular price, I might do 99, sale price 79. You can also schedule that as well. So we're going to click on inventory. So here you can add in the SKU as well as like the barcode numbers as well, if you do have that. So for the stock management, I do highly recommend keeping track of how many products you have, especially if you have physical products, because if you don't know like how many you have, then people are going to be ordering, and then you don't know like how many of this product you have. Highly recommend it. So let's just say, for example, we have 30 pieces of this specific item. Allowing back orders is basically, are you going to allow people to order even though that you don't have any stock? So for this tutorial, I'm just going to set in do not allow. It really depends on how you want to do it. Maybe you might allow it, but you can notify your customer. Like for example, it might take like 4 weeks for it to be shipped out. Really depends on what you want to do. For the low stock threshold, I also recommend that as well, because then it's going to notify you on how much product you have left, right? And then it's going to tell you when you need to reorder that product. So I'm just going to set in 10 for now. It really depends on how many you're selling per day. Like you need to calculate essentially like how many you're selling per day and how many you have, and also like how many days it's going to take to produce and how many days it's going to take to ship to you. I'm not going to explain it too much because it's going to take a little bit of time, and that could be like another video. But yeah, you do want to set that in. Then for shipping, you probably do want to set in the weight as well, because sometimes when you are using the automated shipping processes and things like that, it's going to pull in the weight, and sometimes it's going to tell you like if you are perhaps you have too much of that product, like for example, you might overpack or underpack, then it's going to notify you. So that's why I like to put that in here. And then you might put in the dimensions as well, like 50, 40, and maybe 10. Shipping class, like for example, if you have like different types of items, then you can set in different shipping classes so that the shipping rates can be different. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as empty for now. For the linked products, this is very useful as well, because this is going to show, let's just show you an example. So let's say, for example, over here we have a coffee table, right? So we got like coffee table. So let's just put that in here. And then for the cross sell, let's put the chair. So type in the chair. Okay, so for the upsell, it's going to show below the product. For the cross sell, it's going to show in the checkout cart area. So let's click on update. So let's click over here on the link and scroll down. So this one over here is going to be the upsell, and then the cross sell is, let's say for example, we add this to the cart, click on the cart, and then it's going to show in this area here, right? So for example, if you're selling a brown bag, perhaps you might sell something that goes along with it, like a maybe something to help clean it, or maybe something small, an accessory that goes with it. If you're selling like a camera, it might be like batteries or a camera bag or something like that. Then over here on the actual products, then you've got the recommendations. So for example, if you have something similar that they might like, then you can add it on the bottom as well. So for the attributes, that's with the variable products. The advanced tab over here, you can add in a purchase note. For the menu order, this is basically going to set the order for the shop page over here. Okay, so I'll show you. So right now it's set to 0, but sometimes you might want to rearrange maybe the most popular items on the top row. Then you might want to edit that. Let's just say -1. Then that's going to be showing like the first one over here. So let's go and update that. So let's go here. Okay, so it's showing as the first one. If you do, let's say for example, advanced, if you do maybe 1, then it's going to show at the end. Okay, because by default, these ones here are all 0. So if we do menu order number 1, update, and refresh that, then it's going to be moved down on the bottom, okay, because these ones are set to default 0. So then we can scroll over here, and then here we've got the short description. So with the description, you can use something like ChatGPT to help you. You can say like, can you create a 100-word product description based on my image, and also give me 5 unique product names for the bag. And then here I can upload the bag, for example, like this. And then I'm going to click on enter. Okay, so that's going to generate a product description for me. So obviously read through that and see what is relevant for your products. Then you can take inspiration from that, right? So don't copy it directly, obviously. So just paste that in here, for example, and then they've also created, you know, some product names. So maybe I might want to change it to the Urban Voyager backpack, because the brown bag is not very unique, right? It doesn't sound very good. So we're going to just paste that in as well. Click on OK, and that's going to update the URL too. The Urban Voyager backpack, I think that sounds good. Update. And then scrolling down over here, you've also got the short description. So then you can use ChatGPT again. Can you create, can you write a short description with 5 dot points of the benefits, something like that. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's just copy that for now. Come here and paste that in. Okay, so you do want to make it look nicer. Just format it with like some dot points or some numbered lists or something like that. And then we are pretty much good to go. Just click on update. And let's click on this URL. And there you go. So there is your product and your title, the URL, the short description. We've also categorized it in a main category and also a subcategory as well. And then we've got the stock. Here we've got the long description and also the you may also like section down here. The other thing that I'll show you a bit later is how to obviously add it to your menu section, like for example, the different categories. But now I'm going to show you guys how to add in a variable product. So for example, if you're selling this bag, you might have different sizes of the bag and then different colors of it. So what I want to show you now is how to add in a variable product. So let's go here and hover over new and then click on product to add a new product, or you can go to the dashboard and go to products and then add new from there. So I'm just going to call this a casual Oxford bag. And then we're going to scroll down over here. We can set in a product image again. So upload files, select files. And I'm going to upload some images. So these ones over here. Just upload them to the website first. And then I can select the image. So this image here, it doesn't have a clear background. Okay, so this one does. So let's just select that one, set product image. Okay, so I think that looks good. Then for the product description, I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to scroll down over here. And then for the product data, so if this is a variable product, for example, if it has different sizes and different colors, then we can set in variable. And then we need to start by adding the attributes. So I'm going to click on got it. Then you can fill in the rest of the information like the shipping and the linked products. But the most important is going to be the attributes. For this bag, the variation is going to be maybe the size. And then for this is sort of like a bag that is allows you to like have your laptop in there. So I'm going to do maybe 13 inches. And then I'm going to do shift and then the pipe. So basically a straight line. This is going to be above the return or the enter button. Okay, so shift and then click on that / and then it's going to turn into a straight pipe. Then 15, maybe let's do 16 inch like that. Okay, and then select visible on the product page and use for variations, save attributes. Then the next one is I'm also going to have a color variation. So this one is like a beige color, and then maybe I have a black color. So add new, and then this one is going to be color, and then this one's going to be beige color, and then do the pipe symbol again, and then black like that. Make sure these are both ticked, save. Then click on variations, and then click on generate variations, and then click on OK. So that's going to create the variations for us. Instead of editing the details in there, we can edit the details of the product in each of these ones. So we can click on edit. And then here we can set in the specific product. So I might just set that in to this one over here. And then here we can set in the regular price. So for example, it's $99, maybe the sale price $79. And then you can do the rest of the information about that product here. And you can also select manage stock as well, which I recommend. And then here we're going to edit each of the different variations. So I'm going to click on edit and then click on the upload image. So this one's going to be a black one, set variation image, and then you can enter in the details again here, just like that. And then click on save changes. Okay, so you can also upload the other two variations, but I just want to show you an example. And obviously put in the product categories, the tags, and the descriptions down here. But let's just click on publish. And then from here, we can click on the link. And over here, it's going to give us the option to select, right? The size 13 inch and then the different color options. And it's going to change to that specific image that you set in, right? So that is looking good. And that's the basics of adding in a variable product. Here we can click back on edit product. And what you can also do is you can also go to the variations and you can also set a default size. So as you can see, if you go back here, you can open that in a new tab, then no default has been selected. So you can actually set that here. Scroll down. So you can set in 13 inch and maybe the default you want it to be the beige one, and click on save changes. Then whenever someone lands on this website, it's going to be the default option selected over here. So I think we need to update that first, and then we can refresh it. Then as you can see, that's going to be the default option. So then we can head to the products, and you can see that we've added in our products here, and I think that's looking very nice. So that is basically how you add in a variable product. If you don't have any products to add onto your store, then one of the best ways to get started with e-commerce and also WooCommerce is actually to use something called Printify, which is basically a print-on-demand platform that allows you to create your own designs. It could be your logo and add it onto specific products, which could be like clothing, home decor, accessories such as like iPhone, phone cases, and things like that. And then you can basically connect it to your WooCommerce store, which I'll show you in a second how it actually works. And then you can import the products directly, and then you can start, promoting your website and selling. If someone purchases it from your store, then you're able to order from Printify, which actually works with different factories around the world to produce that product and your design, and then they'll ship it directly to your customer. So it's actually a very sort of simple process, and I'll just walk you through right now. So let's say, for example, we're on the Printify platform and it's actually free to join. So then what you'll need to do is basically just connect your store first. So for example, you could go over here and then add a new store and then select the platform that you are working with. In this case, we're using WooCommerce. So then we'll just need to copy the URL. So copy this URL, come back here and just paste it in, click on connect. So now it just needs to authorize. So make sure you're actually logged in to your WooCommerce website. Approve. Okay, and right now we're connected. So what we could do is click on my products. Got it. What we can do is we can go to the catalog here, and then you can browse basically what you want to apply your design to. So I'm just going to go for a really simple, let's go with a men's t-shirt, but you can do like phone cases, home decor. There are many different items that you can add your designs to. Yeah, there's just so many here. So let's just go with a t-shirt to show you an example. And as you can see here, you can browse some different types of t-shirts, and some of these are actually from different sort of companies as well. So let's just go with this one here. You can also choose the ship from location as well, depending on where you're actually located, because then you can actually ship faster to your customers. So we can scroll down over here, you can read the details, but we can click on start designing. And I'm just going to explore myself. Got it. So for example, we could go and upload, and we can upload from device. So let's just say you have your designs actually ready. So for example, let's go over here. Okay, and let's just upload this one over here. Let's say you want to design just like something cute for Christmas and you want to sell it on your website. It could be like your own merchandise as well. Like if you are a content creator, influencer, and you want to create your own merchandise, this is definitely a great way that you can actually get started. So here is the icon, and then we can enlarge it a little bit as well. Okay, and then you can rearrange it, and then you can also choose what design you want to put on the back. So maybe you might want to put your logo on the back as well. So let's go ahead and upload. Okay, and then let's put this down here. You can arrange and change the size as well as the location within a certain limit. Sleeve, so you can add something to the sleeve as well. The right sleeve, the inner label here, so you can add your logo here as well. So my library, I might just add this one here. Okay, and then you can also choose and select different colors as well. So perhaps we might want to have the ash color, and maybe we want a red color. So you'll obviously have to sort of edit the actual colors in terms of your logo, otherwise you won't be able to see it. Once that is done, you can preview that. So then, okay, let's just say that's good. Save product. Okay, so over here we have the Printify mockups. So they put this on a mockups, and you can use these models as well. We're going to go ahead and perhaps select a few different images, maybe this one over here, the guy too, and then scroll down, maybe something like this. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's just click on save selection. Then what we're going to do is, let's say that's okay. click on publish, confirm and save. So right now that's publishing onto the website that you've actually connected it to. So let's go ahead and refresh that. It might take a little bit of time for it to actually add that product. Okay, so as you can see, I think it's already adding that product. It's just that the image has not been uploaded yet, so it's uploading right now. Okay, let's click into that product. Okay, so there you go. Right, so basically right now, this product is actually live on your store and people can purchase that. And you can go to edit your products and you can edit the title here, edit the descriptions. So set the pricing so you do have some margin to advertise. And yeah, you can obviously order some samples as well. And then once that someone has actually purchased that product, then you will be able to see your orders over here. And then you can order from that specific factory that you've selected and they'll ship it directly to your customer, right? So this is just a very basic rundown of how it actually works. You can play around with it and you can check out, all the different products that you can actually do as well. For example, bags over here, so many different types of bags. You can create one, really nice looking one as well. Sometimes the quality may actually vary, so that's why I do recommend getting a sample, because last time I did get like a phone case one. The phone case was really good, but the printing on the phone case for the logo, it wasn't that high quality. So you do want to test things out and make sure that everything is quality. That way you can actually get return customers, right? So besides print on demand and Printify, there is also AliExpress and dropshipping. With AliExpress, it's actually not a platform specifically built for dropshippers. It's actually a B2C platform. So it serves individual customers. And what dropshippers actually do most of the time is actually use AliExpress to get started with dropshipping. On this platform, you're able to get relatively inexpensive items compared to brands. And then you're able to research and import those products to your store. And then you're able to sell and promote your store. If someone purchases, then you can purchase from that supplier and your supplier will ship it out directly to your customer. So I'm going to explain exactly how that actually works when it comes to AliExpress and also your WooCommerce store, basically how you can import it, and I'll show you guys how the fulfillment process actually works as well. So this is AliExpress. So you can head to aliexpress.com. So this one here is the, I think, US version, but you want to select the country that you want to ship to, okay, on the top over here. And you also want to make sure that you do have a free account as well on AliExpress, and you can start browsing AliExpress. Let's perhaps browse for bags, because I want to make a bag website. So I'm gonna do maybe just a business backpack. For example, let's say I want to add this product onto my store. So there's probably a lot more things that you can, product criteria that you have to go through to find the right product. But I just want to show you guys how it actually works, because it's very simple in terms of how it actually works. But the strategy and also how you want to promote your store and things like that, that's another story. So let's just click into that product, okay? By default, you can't import these products onto your store. So what you actually need is you'll actually need a plugin called Alidropship. So I'll leave a link in the description, and also there's a discount code for the actual plugin as well. So it's a lifetime fee of $89, and you can purchase it and download it and then install it as a plugin. If you are using the WordPress and WooCommerce, you'll need to download and use the Alidropship Woo plugin. If you are not using WooCommerce, you can also create a dropshipping store without it. That one is the Alidropship original plugin. Okay, so if you need any help, you can contact them as well. But I do have that installed, and I put the license key and everything, installed everything. The other thing you'll need is on your AliExpress website, on your browser, you do have to download the Alidropship Chrome extension. So you want to download the Chrome extension, and then you want to link it to your WordPress website. So apply your website URL there, and then add that in. Okay, so that is actually connected. And then you'll have to go back to your website, make sure that it's also connected over here as well, the API settings. Just follow the prompts to actually install it, to get the API and connect it up. So once everything is actually connected, then what you can do is you can go ahead and add the products and import it in here, right? So let's say, for example, you want this product here. Then, okay, so this one's actually been imported already, but let's just find another one. Has this one been imported? Okay, so this one here hasn't. Okay, so it hasn't been imported, so we can go ahead and import that. So we can go and click on edit on the top over here. And here we can actually edit the title. So this is editing in the sort of Chrome extension browser thing. Here we can rename the bag. So I'm just gonna just rename it something simple here. Men's backpack, men's laptop backpack. So I'm just gonna change the name to something very simple now. You can also edit the link as well, the link structure. So I might just put that in there. Okay. And then we can scroll down here and then select the categories as well, or you can add new categories. And here's the description. So this description is the one that is supplied by the supplier or the seller over here. What you do want to do is you want to make it your own. So if you really want to dropship and be successful, then you do have to create your own graphics and just make everything your own. Just pretend like the person who's selling here is just your manufacturer. And obviously you want to match your sort of design and everything to your own website design and keep everything very consistent. If you like just start uploading and importing a bunch of different products, then obviously it's not going to sell, because when people go to your website, it looks really, really spammy. So I'm not going to go through this part of like showing you guys how to like edit and everything like that. But yeah, I do want to let you guys know that you should keep everything consistent and make, you know, these designs yourself. You can click into it and you can also delete it as well. So you can scroll down and then you can also choose the images that you want to include. Do you want to use their images? You can order this as a sample and check the quality first and take your own images with your own models, or you can even use AI these days to really, you know, enhance the images as well. So we can go and click on the pencil icon. So this is actually within the plugin. So let's just click on that. Okay, and we can actually edit that and just clear the logo thing on the top over there and save it. And you can do the same for the other images as well. So once that is done and you're happy with it, then you can scroll down. You can edit the pricing here. You can apply to all variations. For example, the sale price here, I might just do like, you know, $59 here, but you can change it in WooCommerce as well. And then you can edit these details. So some of these details, brand name, you might want to remove it and just tidy these things up. So I'm just going to delete everything. And I can add this in later on as well within WordPress. And once you're done, you can add to the import list. And then that's going to add to the import list, or you can actually publish it directly onto your site without checking it if you want to. You can also download another Chrome extension, I think, which helps you download the images as well. Like for example, you might use these images in your own sort of graphics and designs. So I think this one is the AliSave Plus Chrome extension that allows you to download these images. So once you are done here, then you can also click into it and make sure that, you know, this product is well reviewed. And then you can click into here to make sure that is a seller that you can actually trust, because they do have the feedback scores up here as well. And you can also contact them directly, see what they can do. If you are actually making sales, see what they can do in terms of packaging, see what they can do, you know, in terms of shipping as well. Let's go back to our website over here. And then you can also import directly from your WordPress dashboard area as well. Yeah, you can find the products here. We can go and click on import list. And that's going to take us to the products all. And then over here, I think this is the one that we have selected for the import. So we can go into here, click on edits, and then we can go ahead and edit the listing from here as well, including changing the prices of the variations as well. So the benefit of having this plugin is it's going to also keep track of the inventory from the seller. And also when someone actually purchases the product, then it'll actually help you sort of automate the ordering process from the supplier. Otherwise, if you're selling, you know, a lot of different products, then it's hard to keep track. So basically this plugin will actually keep track for you. So you can edit, you know, all the details over here. And then if you are ready, then we can go ahead and publish that. So I might just do that to show you guys. So I'm going to click on the link. All right, so now that product has been added in. So that is looking good. Then your customers can actually click on that. They can add to basket and they can pay for that. So let's just do a quick purchase. So add to basket and then go to the checkout over here. In a few minutes, I'll show you guys actually the process of adding in the payment options and also how to set everything up as well so that you can actually allow people to check out. Because I haven't shown you that yet. So this is actually just a demo store. I just want to show you guys exactly how it works. I'm just going to paste in that dummy 102. Let's do 28. 1, 2, 3. And then we can go ahead, just place that order. Now we can actually navigate back to our website and navigate to WooCommerce and then click on orders. So this is the latest order over here. Click into that. So this is the order, and what you'll do is you'll click place order automatically via the API, and it's going to download the customer's address as well as the name that they put in. You can make sure you check that, and then we can scroll down. You can select the product again, but it's going to pull in the product that they've actually purchased. You can select the shipping method. It really depends on the country that you ship to as well as the actual supplier. They might have different methods as well. You can also contact them for other methods as well. So let's just, for example, we select that and then we can try to click on place order here. Okay, so what that's going to do is that's going to place the order, but you'll actually need to pay for that on AliExpress. And there you go. So this has been selected, and then we can go to pay now. So you'll actually need to pay using your own payment methods, like it could be your credit card or PayPal account. Once your customer has paid you, then you have to pay your supplier. They'll ship directly to them, and that's basically how that works. There's also another dropshipping method which I recommend you check out as well, which is called CJDropshipping, and that platform is actually built for dropshippers. So the main difference between AliExpress and CJDropshipping is that CJDropshipping is actually built for dropshippers, so it's B2B. And another difference is that they're sort of one platform, and then they also have fulfillment centers. So basically they'll help you source the product, and then the product, they can actually store the product in their warehouse, and then they can ship it to your customers in one package as well. You can also customize the package a little bit as well, like not the actual product, like not too much. You can also do print on demand on CJDropshipping, and it's definitely something that you should take a look at. The disadvantage here is that sometimes they don't have like the more sort of viral and newer products, but you can actually source the products as well, which I'll show you. So basically you can create a free account on CJDropshipping. The first thing you'll need to do is you can connect your store. And luckily you don't have to purchase any plugin because they do have a authorization and integration quite easily. So hover over here, you can click on WooCommerce if you are using a WooCommerce store, and then we can just copy our URL. So for example, your website, and then we can just add store. Just paste in your URL and click on authorize. From here we can click on approve, and it's just as simple as that. So once you're ready, you can click on find products, and you can browse for products or you can search for products. So again, let's just look for the bags. So let's hover over here. Let's go look at the men's backpacks. So as you can see, they have the backpack listings over here. You can also see how many other websites have listed it on their store. The more people that list it doesn't mean that's the best thing, because that means you have a lot of competition and a lot of people selling the same products. But let's just say, for example, we like this bag here. We can click into that, and then you can browse it, and you can also see the processing time, the estimated delivery time, delivery fee. You can see the different products over here. You can also pre-order the inventory. So like I said before, they do have warehouses in China and around the world as well, in the United States. And you can pre-order that, send it to the warehouse, and that way they can send it to your customers faster than normal drop shipping. So here we can, check it out, check out the product. If that is good, then we can just click on list. So we can list that product onto your store that you've connected. So here we can change the title, or you can edit that within your WooCommerce website. So we can select the category, and then select the subcategory as well. You can add the tags in here. You can click on the variant pricing and set the pricing here, or you can set that in the dashboard area. So then we can also click on images and videos. So you can edit the images and the videos here as well. You can ask them to also take photos and videos for a fee as well. Okay, so we need to list the store price. So the total dropshipping price is around 20 bucks. So I might list it around 59. So we do have enough margin. So it really depends on the products here. But what I do recommend is obviously ordering a sample to check it out first. Let's click on list it. So while that is listing, I can go back over here. And let's say, for example, you can't find the product that you want to sell, then we can scroll down over here, go to service, and then you can also click on the sourcing. They also have custom packaging, and I'll also click on the customization as well. They also have print on demand and the third party fulfillment. And as I said before, they also have the photography service. So you can pay a fee for that and they can do the photography for you. So you can submit a photography request over here. And then you can select your store and just enter all the information here. So basically you need to get a quote from them. So over here, that has been listed successfully. If you don't find your product, the sourcing here, we can post a sourcing request. So let's say, for example, you like a product on AliExpress, or it can even be like a competitor from a brand, and you can, enter in the URL, or you can also find it with a picture as well. With the custom packaging here, we can also add our logo onto custom packaging. And what you do is basically you select your product and then you can connect that packaging onto that product. So with that product, it's going to be shipped with the packaging that you have selected here. So you do have to purchase that up front though. And then you also can submit a request for customizations as well. So these are normally like minor customizations to your product. So that can really help you brand your products a little bit better. So since the product has been added in, I'm going to refresh our shop page. And hopefully that product has been added in. So as you can see, that product has been added in. And there you go. Okay. So obviously you should edit that to make sure that everything on your website looks consistent and you're pretty much good to go. So CJDropshipping is definitely a good option for you to get started as well. So one of the more traditional ways of sourcing a product is contacting manufacturers so they can actually custom make your products for you. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit longer as well as cost a little bit more money. So Alibaba is a very popular platform, a B2B platform that allows you to get in touch directly with manufacturers, mainly from China. They've also got a lot of manufacturers from India, Vietnam, Pakistan, and other countries as well. So basically what you can do is you can browse the website or you can submit a request for quotation. So you can list out everything that you want and you can submit that, which I'll show you in a second. Then you can filter it and then ask them for samples. After getting the samples, you can negotiate and ask them, can they customize this? Can they customize that? Obviously, that's going to add a lot more cost and probably a lot more time as well. And then after that, then you can, get to production and they'll need to produce that, ship it to you or ship it to your third-party fulfillment center. Then you can add that product to your website. So it's a much more longer process, but I think if you are selling well, then it's probably the smart choice because then you can create something unique and that way marketing your product is also going to be easier as well. So you can go to alibaba.com and you can create a free account. So there's a few ways to go about it. You can just hover over here and browse the categories to get some ideas, or if you know exactly what you want, you can do a search. Here you can also do a request for quotation, so you can submit what you want with pictures and perhaps if you have what your competitors have, you can link them to that product as well. So let's just say, for example, we're looking for laptop bags. So there can be quite a lot of products. So you might want to narrow it a little bit with the filters. For example, you may want to select ones with trade assurance and you may want to select verified suppliers as well. That can help you narrow it down. You can also narrow it down by the regions as well. So depending on where you want it to be manufactured, maybe perhaps you might have like leather products, maybe you don't want it to be manufactured in China, you can set that in as well. And then you can just click into the products and you can check the products. You can click into the manufacturers. So sometimes there are manufacturers, sometimes there are trading companies, and basically trading companies, they don't make their own goods. Basically, they sort of act as a middleman, because sometimes manufacturers in China, they don't have a export license and they need to work with someone who does and someone who's good at English, and then they can help you get those products. So obviously it's going to cost a little bit more, but sometimes you may need to go through that if the product's a little bit more unique as well. Yeah, you can go direct to the manufacturer. You can read up on their profile. There are a lot of factories, so you do need to, check it very, very carefully. I think one of the most important things is not to trust exactly what they say, but when you ask for the samples, get at least like 3 to 5 samples. Then from there, you can easily see, which company that you want to work with, because sometimes the English is like really good, and every question you ask, they can reply really well, but then the samples is not very good, right? So then you have to, make sure that, because that's the most important thing. And then the other stuff like the minimum order quantities, that can be negotiated. Same with like the price and like customizations, that can be like all added on. But like if they're not good in terms of creating the products, then I don't think that's very good. So you can browse the different products here. You can also go back over here. You can also select the suppliers. So sometimes with all the products, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So if you click on suppliers, then it's going to be a little bit less, because like the manufacturers have multiple products, and then you can browse it. And you can also submit the RFQ. So basically you can enter the product name, submit the requirements that you're looking for, and then upload some pictures and then post that request. And then manufacturers will get in touch with you. So then you can get in touch with them. And yeah, so it's very, very easy, to get started and to navigate. All you have to do is, get started, right? You can also upload your pictures as well, and then that can actually, perform a search for you. So then what I do recommend is probably getting the samples and paying on Alibaba first. So that way you are protected if anything goes wrong. But then generally you'll have to pay a deposit, normally like 30% or 50% before they start production for you. So it is going to take a much longer process, but I think it is worth it, especially if you have confidence in selling your product. Yeah, so that's how you actually get started. And then I'm going to head back to our website and show you guys the rest of the tutorial. So what I want to show you now is how to edit your page with Elementor and the theme. What we're going to do is start from the top and then slowly move down to the bottom. So I'll show you guys how to use the page builder as well as edit the theme and the sort of layout of the website. So from the top over here, we can click on the customize. Then we want to edit the logo first. So you can actually click on the main row, and that's going to allow you to actually edit the header section. So here we've actually got 3 different headers. So the first one, the top row, the main one, and the bottom one. So as you can see, most of the items are actually on the main row. So we can click on back over here. Let's click on back again, okay? And if you don't click on main row here, right, you can go back and go back again. You can click on the header here, and it's going to take you pretty much to the same spot. So here we've got our logo. So we can click the logo. So just click it one time, and we've got 3 versions of the logo. So as you can see, when we scroll down, this is basically the sticky version. And right now over here, this is the transparent state of the logo. And then you've also got the logo over here. And that is when your website is, or the header is not on transparent. So what we need is a dark logo, a light logo, and a dark logo, right? So what I've done is actually created the logo on Canva already. So to get the logo, you can actually go to a website called fiverr.com, or if you want something more premium, you can search up 99 Designs and you can check that out. So with 99 Designs, if you do have the budget, then I think it's a good option, because basically how it works is that you're submitting a brief and then a bunch of designers will basically compete, and they'll submit the designs. So that way you got a lot of different sort of designs to actually choose from. It is a little bit more expensive. So we can go ahead and perhaps let's just click on logo design here. And they have different packages here starting from $4.49. I think that's in AUD. But you can check that out, or you can go Fiverr. You can get one for like $5-10, or you can just create a basic one. Let's go ahead and click into here, and let's go upload files, select files, and then click on logo. I'm just going to upload these ones. So here I've created 2 logos, one with the white text and one black text. And this is the size 240 by 68. You can create something similar in terms of size. So right now I'm going to select, okay, the dark one for the main one. For the transparent state one, click into that. I'm going to select the white one, okay. And then for the sticky state one, I'm going to select the black one again. Then you want to click on publish, and then you've changed your logo. You can also edit some other things here as well, but I don't think it's necessary right now. You can also click on design and edit the spacing as well if you want to move it. For example, let's type in, oops, sorry, just delete that and unlink it first. Let's just say, for example, you want to add some padding on the top. So 50, and that moves it down, and you can control basically where you want it. So click on back over here, and that's your logo done. So this section over here is your menu, okay? You've got your menu 1. You've got the search function over here, the account and the cart over here. Let's say, for example, you want to add social media on the top as well. So on the left-hand side, you can click on socials, and you can drag it anywhere you want. So let's just say, for example, you want it on the bottom row like that. You can also move it to the left like that. So maybe below there. You don't have to have your social media there, but let's just say you want to have it. Then we can also just click into that. And then we can set it to open links in a new tab. Generally, that's what I recommend if it's like linking somewhere external, because you want to keep people on your website. And then you can click on design. You can choose the color depending on, you know, what you want. And you can also edit the hover color as well. So when you hover over it, what color is it going to change to? So I don't really recommend having the socials there, because you do want to keep people on your website. I'd much rather have it like on the footer section of your website, but I just wanted to show you what you can actually do. So I'm actually going to just delete that one there and just keep everything very simple. So sometimes actually you may want to add something on the top row. So this could be like track your order, or it could be your account page. So for example, we can drag the menu item number 2 on the top, and let's say we put it on the top right hand side over there, and we can display that, right? So we can actually click into the top row, and here is where you actually change the design. So you can change the background color. So right now I put it to be white, and I'm showing the menu number 2. So in case you are wondering, menu number 2, I'm going to publish it first. So I'll show you guys where you can edit menu number 2. So let's just close everything. And let's head back to our dashboard section. Then scroll down to appearance and menus. So then what you'll need to do is you can create a new menu. So you can click on create new menu. In this case, I named it top row menu, and I've added some pages in there. So you can click on view all and select the page that you want and click on add to menu. In this case, I added my account page and a track shipping page. So basically once that is done, then you can, on the display location, set it to header menu 2 and just save the menu. So once you have saved the menu, you can head back to the site and click on customize again, and then you can select menu number 2 and you can place it in there. So this one's menu number 2, and you place it in there. You can also move it around, maybe if you want it in the middle, or you can move it onto the left hand side as well. So in this case, I just want to keep it very simple. I'm going to delete it. And the other thing that you may want to know is you can also click on the tablet and mobile header, and this way you can customize what it looks like on the tablet view as well as on the mobile menu. So you can actually click on the mobile menu here, and then you can click on design and you can change the design on the mobile menu. And then we can also click on the mobile menu and you can see there. So click on design and then you can see that you have edited the changes here, right? So then you can also click on the HTML. Okay, so here it's displaying these details there, and then the socials. So this is the socials widget, and that's displaying down there. So you can play around with that and set that in for the tablet and mobile header display as well, and the header. So let's click on publish. The other thing I want to walk you through is basically how do you achieve something like this where you hover over products and then you've got a drop down menu. To do that, it's quite simple as well. So you can also go to customize, or you can go to the back end menu section. So then here you want to scroll down, and then we can go to core, and then over here menus, and then this one is going to be the main menu. So for the main menu, you've got home, products, about, blog, and contact. So as you can see, everything is there. So for these ones, I'm just going to remove it, so I'll show you guys how to actually achieve it. So it's very, very simple. So now let's say, for example, we want to add those in, add items, and then these are going to be product categories. So you can also add in other things like your blog post or your products as well. But I want to just put my categories. So you can click on product categories, and we can select bag, backpack, sofas, tables, and chairs. Okay, so like that. Now that's going to display on the main sort of header. You don't want that, so we want it to be a drop down. So let's just do, for example, bag, and let's drop it under products. So this is going to appear under products like that. And then let's say, for example, you have another sub item. This one can be under bag. Under like that, right? So that's a sub item under bag. So it goes like this. And then we've got the sofas. So this one's just going to be under products, tables, same thing. And then you got chairs. So then when you hover over it, it's got bag, and then it drops down to backpack, sofas, tables, and chairs. So once you're done, then you can click on publish, and then you can close. So that's the basics of editing the header section. What I want to show you now is how to edit the hero section using the Elementor builder. So this is the front end builder. So you can click on edit with Elementor, and that's going to load it up, so we're able to edit everything. Over here it says your site doesn't have a default kit. So I'm going to click on recreate the kit. And then I'm going to go visit site again. Let's try again. Okay, so I think everything is working now. So if it does pop up with that, then you can recreate it and then head back to the front end of your website and turn on the builder. So over here we've got the structure, so you can actually click on it, and you can click on each of these sections to easily edit it. But I'm gonna close it here. You can also click back over here to open it again. On the left hand side, we can click on that, and then you can also click on history. Basically, if you make any revisions and when you publish and save it, it will be saved over here, and you can go back to any revisions you need. And then you can also click on the keyboard shortcuts as well. So it uses a lot of the shortcuts that we normally use, like the undo, redo, copy, and things like that. So let's close that. So over here we can click on plus element. So we're going to edit this section here first, which is the hero section. We can actually just right click here and edit section, and then we can edit the layout. So we can click on the style, and then we can change the background. So you can change the background to a normal picture or a gradient video, as well as a slideshow. So in this case right now it's already uploaded I think a sofa or something like that. So let's just delete that, and then we can upload our own image. If you're not sure, how to create a hero image, then you can actually go to like canva.com and you can easily create one. So I'll just show you to give you some idea of how to do it, or you can hire someone to do it. So you can go to Canva, create an account, and then create a design. And then for example, what we can do is let's just do a custom size, and I'm going to do a width of around maybe 1800 and then a height of 900 pixels. Create a new design, and then I'm going to search for the template. I'm going to search e-commerce. So here we have some different designs that you can take to get started. For example, I might like this one over here. It's nice and simple, and I can easily delete the text inside. So I'm going to select this one, or you can select other ones as well. And let's just click into that. So then let's close that, and then maybe let's close that. Okay, so let's just delete the things inside here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add an image on the right hand side. So perhaps it could be a product, because on the left hand side I do have the text. So you do have to think about, where you want to place the text beforehand when you actually create the design. For example, what we want to do is go to uploads, and then what you can do is you can upload a picture. So for example, a picture that you have taken or a picture from your supplier. And let's just say, for example, let's close that. Oops. Okay. And then drag that. Just make that a little bit bigger. And you can also use the BG remover. So if you do sign up, you can sign up for I think the Pro trial. And you do have access to the BG remover. Or you can go to remove.bg and you can use that tool to remove the background and paste it in as a transparent file, so you can put it easily on top of any sort of background. So next, what I want to do is maybe I want to add a little shadow. So we can go to elements and then maybe like a little circle here. Let's just drag it below there like this, maybe like that. Drag it down and just put it under. Maybe let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then change the color to maybe black, and then I'm going to change the opacity, so change it down to like maybe 10%, and then you can have a look. Okay, maybe I might move it down just a tad more. Let's just try 5. Just needs to be a little subtle shadow. Okay, like that. I think that looks good. And that's just a very simple way of creating a hero image. Then we can click on share, and then we can go to download, and I'm going to download it as a PNG. If it's too big, then you can also try to download it as a JPEG. All right, and then I'm going to download it as this, and I'm going to click on download. So here I'm going to name it, so hero image, maybe hero image 1. Then we can head back to the site, and then we can click on plus to upload files, select files, and select the file from your computer. Okay, so the size of the hero image I think is good. It's less than 500 kilobytes. I think that's something that a good size that you want to aim for. You definitely don't want something that's bigger than 1 megabyte. So let's select, and then we have the hero image there. So what we could do, as you can see, it's like kind of dark. We can actually drop the opacity down. So right now it actually has a background overlay, 0.5 opacity. Let's just drop it down. Maybe just 0.1. I think that's enough, because the darker you make it, the more sort of the text will actually pop. But I don't think it needs to be so dark, because you can see the text quite clearly. So I think 0.1 is pretty good. Once your background is done, then we can edit the text inside. So to edit the text, you can just click into that, and then over here on the left hand side, new collection. So for example, it could be like summer. Oops, I'm gonna keep it as capitalized, so summer collection. And then here, click on it, beautifully crafted modern maybe travel bags or something like that. Hopefully you can come up with a better headline, or it could be like 50% off, 75% off, Black Friday discounts. And here you can write a little bit more about your maybe about your website and your story. You could write like 2 sentences. Here we've got a button, so you can click into that button, and then here we can change the text. So for example, it could be like shop now, or maybe like that. I think that looks better. And then for the link, you can start typing. For example, if you want to link it to the bag, so back, oops, let me delete that all. So type in back, okay, and then you can link it to the specific product, or you can go to the products page and try to find the link and link it there. But you can also start typing in the title of the product, and you can link it that way too. So it really depends on what you want to do. I'm going to link it here, and then you can click on style, so you can change the button colors and as well as the font. I'm going to leave it as that for now, and then you can click on advanced. Basically you can control the sizes over here. So that's the very basics of it. And then over here on the right hand side, you've also got a play icon. So here we can click on it, and then you can also link it to a video, like a YouTube video. Perhaps you might want to link it and open it in a new tab as well. So here you put the link to the video. Okay, I don't have one right now, but let's just click on publish. And then once that is done, then that's how you edit your hero section. So then let's go back over here, plus, and then on the left hand side, you can actually add in other elements as well. So we can scroll down. So some of these ones are actually the pro, under the pro version, and you're quite limited actually. But luckily there are some plugins that allow you to add additional sort of elements for free, and I'll show you that in a moment. So then scrolling down over here, this section here, you can add some benefits about your brand or your company. For example, it could be like the type of leather that you're using, fast delivery, and you just click into it and you can change the text. For example, you could do like 3-year warranty, and you can click into this as well. You can also change the icon. You can also purchase icons from Fiverr. You can have custom ones made so they don't look, you know, like the same ones that everyone else is using. So you can change the text here as well. So you can click into it, change it on the left hand side. Fairly simple. Then if you do want to remove it, you can also delete the section too, and you can also undo as well. So Command Z. Okay, there you go, and that brings it back. So then the next section here is the categories, and over here we can also change the text as well. Here we have 4 different categories, and how you actually achieve it normally is, let's say for example we go to Gymshark. So we can scroll down over here. Normally these ones, they have like an image and then they've got some text and a button, and that's going to link them to that specific product or that specific product category. And as you can see down here, same thing. So how do you actually do that for your own website? So let's click over here and we can click on the top left, edit column, edit style, and then we can click on the image and upload the image over here. Let's say for example, if you want to design something like this, or even something like Gymshark, you can use Canva again. So we can go to like file, create a new design, and custom size. For the width, I think we could use something like, maybe let's try 900, and then the height maybe 400. So then it sort of will be the same shape as this. So let's just give that a try. So once that is loaded up, then we can click here. We can change the background color. Let's say for example, let's change it to yellow. That's too bright, so we can click into that as well. Click into the new color and maybe might make that a little bit lighter. Something like that. Something similar to what is on there already, but we can update our own product. So I think it still might be a little bit too dark. Okay. Then what we could do is we can go to uploads, and then we can go ahead and upload a picture. So for example, this laptop sleeve. So let's add that in there. Add it to the side on the right hand side. Make it a little bit bigger. And then arrange it into position. So as you can see, it has a background. I'm going to use the background remover. Again, if you don't have this because you don't have the pro version, you can use remove.bg website. So once that is ready, for example, you do have 4 category sections that you need to create, then you can go back here and then you can just duplicate that maybe 4 times. And then you can go ahead and just change the background color like that, and background color again. For example, change it to maybe this one over here. Okay, delete that. Make that a little bit bigger. Oops, sorry. Make that a little bit bigger. Okay, remove BG again. And then all you need to do is you can go to share, and then we can download that. So download it and download it as PNG. I think that's fine. And then over here, I'm gonna select page 1, click on done, save it to your computer. So this one could be laptop sleeve, and then category, save it, come back over here, and then choose image, and we can just upload that over here, add that in, something like that, and then this change the title, so laptop sleeves, and then here you want to paste the product category URL in here. So if you had a laptop sleeve category, then you can type that in here and then click on it to link it, or you can go to the products categories and link that and paste your URL in here. Once that is done, then when people hover over it, they can click into it and that direct them to the product category. So you can do the same for the rest of these. It's pretty simple. Then you can click on publish when you have completed that. Then the next section over here, we have the featured products. So in this featured products section, we can click into that. And as you can see, we do have a shortcode here, and you can actually edit the shortcode. So if you want to keep the exact same style over here, we can edit that. So for example, product limits, you want to display just 3 products, you can change it like that. And then also, you can also change like how many you want in a column. Maybe I want 4. So product limit is 3. So let's just change that to 4. And then that should show 4 products. With this shortcode here, you can also use a element. So you can use click on plus element. And right now, we don't actually have access to the pro version of Elementor. So we're a bit limited in terms of sort of like the elements for WooCommerce that we can add in here. So what you can actually do, let's click on publish first. And there's actually some plugins that you can actually download and then install and activate that give you a little bit more widgets that you can actually, or elements that you can actually drop onto your website. So what we're going to do is publish that first, and then we can go and click on the top right over here, or top left over here, sorry. Click on exit to WordPress, close that, and then click on the WordPress icon again to take us back to the dashboard section. Then we could go to plugins. So there's 2 plugins that we can actually download, and let's just search and click on add new plugin. So you can search on the top right hand side, magical products display, and we can go ahead and install and activate this one over here. So it's by Noor Alam, I think. Click on install, and then once that is installed, activate it, and then add new plugin. So there's also a few other ones, so you can just type in Elementor and click on enter. So there are actually quite a few plugins that help you add additional widgets and functionality for free. So one of them is the, I think, Ultimate Add-ons for Elementor. You can also download, I think it's this one over here, Elements Kit. So let's just install that one by WooPayments. Then we want to make sure we activate it. So you can also check out some of these other ones as well, but I don't want to add too many plugins onto my website. It might slow it down and just clutters it up a little bit. So what we're going to do is head back and visit site. Then we can edit with Elementor again. And instead of using just a shortcode to add in our products, what we could do is we can just delete it. So right click, delete, and maybe let's just keep the button there. So on the left hand side, you see magical product display, and here we can display, use these things to display our products. So one of them is going to be the products grid. You can drop that in there, and we can select filter by recent products, featured products, most popular products, on sale products, and things like that. So for example, with the featured products, you actually have to sort of make it featured in the WordPress backend. So actually, I'll show you that, because sometimes you may want to select just a few of your popular products manually. And here you can also select the product categories as well. You can play with the different grid layouts, like how many you want to display on desktop, tablet, or mobile, and you can change the layout sort of settings. But let's just say, for example, you want to select your own featured products, which I think is quite important to know. I'm going to click on publish for now, and then let's head back, click on the top left, exit, and then click on WordPress, the icon. Let's head to the products, and then here we can select it as a featured product. So for example, I want the Urban Voyager backpack as a featured product. Perhaps I want a, let's see, maybe a modern chair and maybe a casual Oxford bag as my featured products. And I might select maybe just one more, maybe the wooden table. Okay, so that is 4 featured products. Let's head back to the website. And then as you can see, we have our featured products in here. So the reason why it looks a bit off is because this image was the actual default product, and they had the default dimensions on the product images. These ones I think are 800 or 1000 by 1000 pixels in terms of the size. So that's why I recommend always uploading like the same size, especially for the featured image of your products. So that is that, and you can play around with the different display options there using that add-on. So scrolling down over here, so this section is actually fairly similar to before with our hero section. So you can scroll down over here, and here we have an image. So you can click into that and you can change the image. You can change the text on the right hand side here. Scrolling down, you also have a blog, so blog post. So we can click into that, and this one actually uses a shortcode as well. You can also use like elements to drop in a blog post and to have more control on the display, but I actually think the look of it is actually quite okay, and it blends in well with the theme. So here you can change, maybe if you want to display more blog posts, like for example, if you have more, like you might want to display 6, and you can type that in. As you can see, it shows 6. The pagination basically will show the pages if you do have more. So let's just change that to yes. And then you have people can click on the pages as well. So apply. Scrolling down. I think that looks pretty good. And let's just publish it. So what we have here is an email subscription box. What I'm going to show you in a minute is basically how to collect emails on your website. So I'll show you guys how to collect emails from an email opt-in, and also how to do an email sort of pop-up so you can actually get people to sign up to your email list. For example, you could do like a little 10% off, and then how to actually set up the automation behind that. For example, if people sign up, then they can get 10% off the first order, but obviously you don't want to send that out manually yourself. It's all going to be automated. And then I'll also show you guys how to do a abandoned cart. So essentially, if they have something in the cart and they left it, I'll show you guys how to set up that automation. Because email is actually quite important for an e-commerce site or any website, because you've got direct access to your customer, and you can email them when you have a new product launch, if you have a sale, or if you have any news about your business, then you can get in touch with them very easily. So before I actually jump into the email part of this tutorial, let's say, for example, you do want to build a new layout. So for example, down here, we can click on the plus icon, and this is the Flexbox one. Normally I use this one. This one is for more advanced users, so you got more control over where you want to put your elements. Click on Flexbox, and here we can choose the different structures. For example, we just want to create a simple one, and here we have the row, and then we can go to plus. For example, we can just drop it in a heading, click on elements again, then we could do a text below that, click on plus, and then maybe let's just do a button. So let's search for the button, just put it below the text here, click on the section, or you can right click and also edit the section. So right click, edit container, and then click on the advanced tab. So if you want to edit some padding, so for example, add some space on the top of the section, let's just unlink the values. So the right hand side and the left, just delete that. And then over here, we can add a image. So click on style, click on the background type, and then you can add an image, gradient, or a video. So that's how you can build a layout, like a hero image section. There's also another way, so let's just delete that, and that is actually to use a template. So earlier I downloaded the Elements Kit plugin, and you can do that as well. It's free. So here we can click onto that, and then we can navigate here and click on sections, and then we can choose a specific section that we want. For example, if you want testimonial, perhaps a FAQ, then you can select it, and you can select a pre-built section. So for example, this one over here looks good. We can go ahead and insert that. So once you've inserted that, then you can go ahead and edit the text and edit the styling for it. So then it just speeds up the process of building a layout from scratch. And let's just delete that. So then we can go ahead and publish. And let's go ahead and show you guys how to set up your email automations and email campaigns for your e-commerce site. So to get started with email marketing and creating the form to add onto your website, we can go to a website called Omnisend, and you can go to hoganschuer.com/OMNISEND and then click on enter. And that's going to take you to this page over here. So what we can do is go ahead and click on start for free. So here we're going to create a free account. We are going to sign up with our Google account. So from here, we're going to enter a password. I'm just going to choose my own one, and my business is eCommerce. And I'm going to click on sign up. And then here, we're going to enter our store name. So I'm just going to name it Woo Tutorial. And the website URL. So you can copy your website URL. Paste it in here. We're going to choose the platform that we're working with, which is going to be WooCommerce. So currently we're not using any, so I'm going to select none, click on continue. So over here you can enter in your business address. So this could be a personal home address, or I think you can still use a PO box. That's working for me at the moment. So I'm going to click on continue to Omnisend. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need to do is we're going to connect Omnisend with our WooCommerce website. So we're going to click over here on the bottom, okay, connect your store. So here we're going to choose an e-commerce platform. So as you can see, it works with various other platforms such as Shopify, Wix, WooCommerce. So we're going to select that one. And what we're going to do is to connect our store, we actually need the Omnisend plugin. So we're going to head back to our website, and we're going to head to the dashboard section. From here, we're going to navigate to plugins and click on that. And we're going to add a new plugin. So click on add new plugin. And then here on the right hand side, we're going to search for Omnisend and just click on enter. And we're going to install this one over here, email marketing for WooCommerce by Omnisend, 70,000 plus active installations. So we're going to select that and install. Then click on activate. And then on the top over here, we're going to connect your WooCommerce store to Omnisend. So you can click on that. And then from here, we can just click on connect your account. So once you actually do that, then it should navigate you to here. Basically, if you are actually logged in to your Omnisend account already, we're just going to approve that. So here, it's going to ask us for our brand assets. Essentially, you can actually add your logo in here as well as your brand colors. So whenever you are creating a sort of email opt-in, whether that be a pop-up or embed form, then it's going to use the colors that you set in here. So, and also for your fonts as well. So I'm just going to use just whatever they've pulled in from our website at the moment, but you can change these. So once you're done, then we can click on Save Brand Assets. Okay, so congratulations, we have basically connected our store and Omnisend. All right, so once you're actually connected, then in your WordPress dashboard, you should see Omnisend and it should show it's connected, and you would have the brand name and the brand ID over here. Then basically what I want to show you now is I'm going to visit the site. We're going to scroll down over here. And what we want to do is, first of all, we're going to create an email opt-in that we can add onto the website. And then I'll show you guys how to create the pop-up and then how to add the automation. And then later on, I'll show you guys how to set up the abandoned cart and checkouts. Over here, we can navigate back to our Omnisend dashboard. So you can actually follow these ones to get started, but I'm going to walk you through anyway. So the campaigns is basically when you want to send out like a new campaign. Let's say, for example, you have a sale coming up or you are launching a new product, then you can create a new email campaign. Automation is basically when you set up an email automation. Let's say, for example, someone signs up to your email list from your embed form, and then you want to send a 10% off coupon. And this is basically where you set that up. Forms is basically where we're going to get started right now. So this is basically the pop-up or the embed form on your website. What we can do is we can actually click on view other form types over here on the bottom. And here we can choose a form template. What we want to do is we want to create a specific type of form, which is going to be a embedded form. Later on, I'll show you guys how to create the pop-up, but let's create the embedded one first. So select the embed form, and what we want to do is we want to find just a very simple one, and we can just look for the simple email capture because we just need one which goes over here. So let's go over here and just use template. So what we want to do is we want to delete everything except the email and the button. What we could do is just click into that and let's just delete that like that. And this section here, also delete that. And then we can go ahead and click into that to edit how it actually looks. So I'm going to leave everything else as default. The thing that I want to do is I want to just delete the padding. Okay, so delete all the padding there. I'm going to keep 12 pixels because that's going to keep some space between this and the button. But I'm going to delete the rest. So they're all set to 0. And then I'm going to click into the button as well. And I'm going to go ahead and delete and delete and then delete. Okay, so we've deleted everything. So now we just have the email field and also the button. And then let's go back and click onto the form field. And what we can do is click on the field settings. So we can actually edit the style and also the color. So what we want to do is we want to create something very, very seamless. What we need to do is for the text color, I'm going to change that. Placeholder color, I'm going to change it to like a light sort of gray, I think. So something like that. And let's see, the text color, I'm going to keep it as maybe dark gray. The font, I'm going to change it to Arial for now. The font size, I'm going to keep it as that. The label color, leave it as that. The background color, I'm going to change it to white. And the border color, I am going to change it to white as well. Then for the button, so the button, I'm going to choose this color here. So I'm going to use a tool. I think this is called ColorZilla. So you can download it as a Chrome extension. And then we can pick color from page, select that color, and it's going to copy that color code. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the button and then click on the button settings. And then this is the primary button. So click into that. Font, I'm going to set it to Arial as well. The text color, keep it as white. Background color, we're going to enter in the new color. And also the border color, keep it the same as well. So now it looks pretty much like this form over here. So I think that's looking pretty good. What we can do is let's have a look at this. Let's see if this spacing. Okay, so this is the actual button. So I'm going to leave that, and you can change the padding if you want to. And I think everything is looking pretty good. So what we could do is we can go ahead and enable form. Then we can copy this code, click on done. Let's go ahead and click over here, and we need to add it to our website. So to add it to our website, we're going to click edit with Elementor, scroll down. So right now, this one, we have the other form. I'm going to delete it. So right click and delete. On the widget, we're going to search for HTML. Just drag it in below there and then paste in the code that we got. And then we're going to publish. Okay, and click on the drop down, click on view page. The only thing is that there is some spacing there on the left hand side. So I'm going to go back to check that actually. Let's go to the forms. Okay, so it's asking us to actually set up the automated email, which we'll do in a second. So I'm going to click on skip for now. So this is the form that we just created. Click on the three dots, edit. And then this is the padding that we want to adjust. So as you can see on the left-hand side, there's 20 pixels padding. So if you click on the entire sort of section, so we can delete that update live form. And let's take a look at that. Hopefully that's better now. Give that a refresh. Okay, so I think that is looking very, very nice. And what you can do is, let's say for example, you want something similar for the footer section, then you can basically create another form. And this one, perhaps you can name it footer email capture. So this one is simple email capture. Perhaps I think it would have been better if I actually edited it. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the title. So we're going to do email capture homepage, because if you want to create other ones for other pages, then it might get confusing since you have so many. So try to name it properly and just update that, and I think that is good to go. What I want to show you guys now is to set up a pop-up form for your website. So navigate back to the forms tab, click on create a new form, and here we're going to scroll down. So we're going to select actually the type, which is pop-up, and here we can choose from a template, so you can get started with any template that you want, but I'm just going to select a very simple one. So I think we're going to select this one over here. So email and SMS, branded multi-step welcome discount, use template. On the left hand side, there are many items that you can actually drag and add in. If you want to collect additional information, then you can do that. You can also adjust it so you can add an image as well. I'm not going to show you right now. I might create a full in-depth tutorial. I just want to get you guys started. And so for example, if you wanted to collect a legal consent, you can just drag that in like that. And there are a lot of things that you can actually do. On the right hand side here is where we can control the behavior. For the scheduling, you're able to set a start and end date. So for example, this is useful when if you have like a sale or Black Friday sale, you can set a specific pop-up to appear at a specific time and then for it to stop. And for the display, so this is important because you don't really want to be so intrusive with your pop-ups, especially for new visitors. You may want to set specific rules. So for example, you may want to set a rule where it says that a visitor must visit 3 pages before the pop-up actually appears. So you want to make sure that your visitor or your customer is very interested in your products before you actually show them that pop-up. Otherwise, sometimes if you show it too early, then they're going to click on the close button so quick, and then you're not going to capture their email, right? So you might want to put perhaps, I think, 2 to 3 pages might be good. And you also might want to set a time delay as well. So for example, you don't want to show it before maybe 30 seconds or 40 seconds or even a minute. I'm going to do 45 seconds. I want to make sure that everyone who sees this pop-up is very, very interested in what we have to offer. You can also do scroll depth and exit intent as well, but we're just going to keep it simple as that. I'm going to click on back over here, and we can also set targeting. So targeting is good because you can also target visitors who are not existing contacts, so they haven't ordered before. So I'm going to show it to do not show to existing contacts because I don't want to show to someone who has already signed up to my email list or already is a customer. Perhaps you may want to create a separate pop-up for them. Maybe instead of 10%, maybe you want to offer a free gift for people who are already signed up. So I'm going to show this to only new visitors. You can also set page targeting options, like for it to appear on specific pages, or for example, you want it to appear on specific products. You can create specific ones there. There are a lot of different targeting options as well. For example, the source targeting as well. So we're going to keep that fairly basic. Click on back over here. And for visibility, so you can actually show on different devices or mobile only, desktop only. It really depends, because then you can customize the design, right? So we're going to click on back and just leave that as default. Frequency, you may want to limit the form appearance, so you don't want it to appear so often. Let's say someone visits your website maybe 2 or 3 times per day. You only want to show it to them just 1 time per day. Again, you don't want to be too intrusive and annoy them. So I'm going to set that at once per day. And then once you're done, you can go to the theme settings, and you can also click in here and basically edit like the fonts and everything that you need, including the button color as well. So for example, if you want to edit the button color, we can click on button settings, primary button, and then here we can change the color. So for example, we can use the same color that we have over here. So use ColorZilla, pick color from page, select the color, come back over here, and we're going to paste in the background color over here. And I'm going to add that. Oops, I'm going to paste it in here and add that color. So the next time when I'm creating a form, I can reuse the same color. So you can edit the styling for the desktop and also for mobile version as well. And I think we're going to leave it as that. You can also click on the step 2, because we've also selected the one where we can have collect their email as well as the phone number. So if you don't exactly want to collect their phone number, you can click here and delete that. If people actually sign up and they put their email here, they get 10% off. If they don't want to collect, so if people don't want to put their phone number in, they can just close it. It will save their email address that they put in earlier. And you can also control the success message as well, same as the you're already subscribed message. So you can control how that looks. So let's just align that to the center. So you can also click on add option and select the teaser. I'll show you this in a moment, but what we're going to do is just update the live form. And I'm going to open a incognito window, paste in the URL, and I want to show you exactly how it works. So I've actually set this condition in where we have to actually visit a few pages. So I'm actually going to go ahead and visit a few pages. Okay, and then as you can see, the pop-up actually appeared. And now what we can do is they can put in their email address. So for example, hello@hoganshaw.com, get 10% off. And then they can also put in their phone number as well, but we're not going to do that. And then that's still going to capture their email address. And the email address is going to go into the audience over here. So email subscribers, this one over here. So it still goes through. Now the teaser option over here, let's go back to forms. The teaser option is, it shows sort of like a floating button. So click on add option, teaser. So this is going to be the floating button, and we can select the different display options here. We're going to click on update. Okay, let's head to our website, and this is what the teaser is going to look like. So it's a floating button, and people can click onto that, and then for example they can enter their email address. They can also close it, and you can set it to still appear, or you can also set it to disappear as well. Once we have created our embed form and pop-up form, the next thing we need to do is actually to set up the automation. So we're going to click on automation. So from here, we're going to set up the automation workflow. We're not going to use the abandoned cart one. We're going to click on explore all workflows. And what we're going to do is just set up the welcome one. This one over here, the first one, you can search it as well. But you can also select the filter. And we're just going to select the most basic one. So if you've actually selected the email and also the phone opt-in, you can select this one here. You can also select this one. This one has a automation of 3 emails, but let's just keep it simple. Select this one over here with 1 email. So the first thing to look at is the trigger filters. We're going to keep this as set up for us already, because it says here channel subscribed is via email, subscription method is a sign up form, and it is going to be the first subscription. You can also edit the trigger filters here. but we're going to keep it as this. And if these sort of filters are met, it's going to wait 1 minute before it sends out the email here. So you can also adjust the time, but I'm just going to keep it as that. And we're going to click on the welcome email. And here we can edit the subject line. You can also change the pre-header and the sender's name. So this could be your brand name. And then we can scroll down over here. This is going to be the content. So we can click on edit content. We're going to do yes, save for now. And we're going to edit the content for our email. So let's close over here. You can go ahead and edit the logo and edit the content over here. I'm going to keep everything as is. The thing that I want to do is I want to delete the discount code here, hover over quick add, and then I'm going to set in a unique discount and drag that below there. This is basically going to create a unique coupon code from your WooCommerce or eCommerce store and add it over here. So you can also set in a static discount. So basically that discount code is going to be the same for all visitors who've actually signed up. You can do that as well. So you can just drop that in there like that, and that's fine as well. What we're going to do is just delete everything else and just clean things up a little bit. So I'm going to keep it very, very simple, and you can also edit it just like we have done before. For example, here we've got the unique discount. You can set the discount value here, and it's automatically going to set that in for you. Another really cool feature is if you hover over quick add, you can select product listing and we can drag it below here. So we can add this to our welcome email, and essentially what it does, because we have connected Omnisend to our WooCommerce store, we can pick specific products onto our store here. So from here we can select our products. Let's say, for example, we can pick these 2 products and we can add it to the email. You can do that, and you can also change the display settings here, but I'm just going to keep it very simple, and I'm going to go ahead and remove that. So once you're done, we can finish editing. Then you can click on start workflow or publish the changes. You can also click into here and you can send a test email to another email. So then you can see basically what it looks like. Basically what it's going to look like is that it will show a unique coupon code, because that's the one that we've actually set in, and they can click on redeem discount, and then that will redirect them to your website to make that purchase. So let's head back over here, and basically once you're done, then it should be good to go, and it's going to work for when people actually sign up to your email list. It will send them this welcome 10% email after the first minute, and then you should be good to go. So the other automation that we're going to do is going to be the abandoned cart or the abandoned checkout automation. So that's also very simple as well, because they do have templates for us to use. Now let's create a abandoned cart workflow. So we can click on create workflow, and here we can select the abandoned cart. You can also create a abandoned checkout. It's going to work pretty much exactly the same, because all the work has actually been done by Omnisend already. They already have the template set. So we can go ahead and customize for the abandoned cart. And essentially what it's going to do is that if someone adds a item into the cart and they didn't check out, they exited your website, it's going to send a email to them. So this is the email. So items in your cart are selling out fast. From here, we can edit the subject line, the pre-header, and also the content of that email. Like before, it's going to be the same. You can edit the content and you can edit whatever is inside. And then if people still don't place an order, then after 11 hours, it's going to send another email, which is going to say your cart misses you. And again, you can also edit the content within there. Again, if they don't purchase yet, then another 12 hours later, we will send a 15% off the entire cart. So it could be like 10% if you want to as well. So you want to make sure you edit that, and also you want to make sure you actually add the discount in the email. So for example, right now it has the placeholder. So go to quick add here, and then we can drop in a static discount, or we can create a unique discount for our customers. So we want to delete that as well. So here we can change it to 10%. And then here, the discount value, make sure that is set correctly. So once you are done, then we can click on finish editing. And pretty much that is set. So you can also add different triggers, but we're not going to talk about this right now, because I'll actually create a full tutorial and show you guys some more advanced things as well, such as the split and also the A/B testing. So we're going to go ahead and just start the workflow. And if you want to create a abandoned checkout one, so essentially when your customers get to the checkout, they'll enter their email address, but they haven't actually placed an order, then they will go through this automated email flow. So if you actually enable that, and we can just go ahead and start the flow here. And yeah, if you want to edit anything, you can click into it and edit it just like what we've done before. So we're just going to go ahead and just start that one. So what we've created is a welcome email with 10% off, a abandoned cart email automated flow, as well as abandoned checkout automated flow as well. So with the campaigns, as I mentioned before, this is if you want to send out a email campaign, if you have a new product release, or if you want to create like a one-off sale, you can create a new email campaign here and send that to your audience. So that's pretty much it for the email marketing part of the tutorial. We're going to get back into our website, and we're going to talk about shipping and also the shipping zones, and essentially how we personally fulfill our orders. So before I actually get started in adding in the shipping zones and the prices for each of those zones, I do want to talk a little bit about, what happens before that process, because a lot of videos will show you guys how to add it in, the pricing and things like that, which is actually quite easy. But what do you need to do before that process? What you do want to do before that process is you want to find out, which postal service are you going to be using? Are you going to be shipping locally? Are you going to be shipping internationally? And, what services do you need? As well as understanding, because there are a lot of brands out there, what I do recommend checking out first is obviously your national postal service, because they have a wide network, which basically means that they're likely to have the best price. There are other brands out there which you can check, and sometimes they have different conditions. Maybe it really depends on also what you are shipping as well, like what size the item, as well as what is the weight of the items that you're shipping. So you want to do your research there and really understand the shipping cost. For example, I'm based in Australia and I have accounts or business accounts with Australia Post. It's recommended that you do sign up for a business account, because the prices are going to be much better than, if you're just a normal consumer and perhaps you're sending to your friend or something like that. You're going to get like bulk discounts depending on, how much you spend per month. And then you can also get volume discounts as well. For example, like if I'm shipping from Australia to the United States and I'm shipping like, for example, like something that's like 500 grams, then it's going to cost quite a bit. So let's just do like 550, so 0.55, and set the weight in there. Then it cost me around $41 to ship that standard to United States, and it's going to take 5 to 9 business days. So to give you an idea of how much you can actually save, for us, for the same package, it's going to cost us, I think, between like $27 to $28. So that's a saving of around $13, which is quite a bit, especially if you ship out a lot of packages. That's thousands and tens of thousands of dollars of savings, every single month. So you also want to get a sort of shipping time frame as well, so that you can actually add it to your website. And so when people check out, then you can add that time frame to prevent people from, always emailing you and asking about the package as well. So it's very important to do your research and understand the pricing, the times, as well as basically how the price is going to change dependent on how big your item or how much it actually weighs. For example, if we look at the shipping cost here, it actually varies quite a bit. If you know that it varies, then you may want to also edit or perhaps add some of that cost into your product, especially if you're shipping internationally, because it actually varies quite a bit. So for example, over here, if we zoom in just a tad, then what you're going to notice is that if I'm shipping from Australia to United States or Canada, for 500 grams to a kilo, it's like $41, but then it jumps up to $54.15 for over a kilo to 1.5 kilos. So that's around $13. So the total is $54, and that's definitely quite a bit. And if I actually charge that amount at checkout, I'm probably going to scare away a lot of my international customers. So based on that, then you may want to adjust your pricing for your product. Perhaps you may want to add some of that to the actual product itself. So for example, if we have like two items over here, one is 450 grams to ship, another one is 550 grams. The cost is both the same, to purchase and ship to your warehouse. For example, it's $10 shipping. Let's say, for example, it's $10 for this one because it's under. The other one is $20. You may want to adjust the selling price, to be a little bit more expensive to cover some of that cost. So then, when you're setting your shipping rate, you can offer a flat rate at checkout, which I think most people are used to that, because if you set it to like $50, it's probably going to scare them away. You really want to understand that, and then you also want to check out your competitors, so then you can basically find something that's suitable for you. For us, we have a standard shipping and express shipping for local, like domestic, and then we also have standard and express for international, and also expedited express for international as well, which is with DHL. We also have an account with FedEx, but for Australia, it's not that cheap for FedEx. It's cheaper for DHL. FedEx, I think they have a big network in the United States. So if you are in the United States, then you might want to sign up for them because they do like overnight or same day shipping as well. Yeah, once you actually decided, which shipping postal service that you're using, then you do want to sign up for a business account because you definitely get a big discount there. And you'll basically get an API that you can connect to your shipping software later on. The other things that you might need is you'll need a printer. So I think most of you have a printer at home. You don't really need a thermal printer yet. You can wait until you get a few sales first. A thermal printer, basically, you don't need any ink, and it's just a lot faster and convenient as well because you can just stick the label onto your product. So with a printer, you'll likely have to get the shipping pouches. So the shipping pouches are quite affordable. Essentially, you can purchase that, anywhere in your local country, and then you can basically add the shipping label into the shipping pouch, and then you can attach it to your packaging. For like shipping supplies, you can also, purchase that, locally, like for example, like your mailer bags and things like that. For sometimes like the boxes, you can get that from your supplier in China. Perhaps they can organize a custom size for you, or you can get that locally. It really depends. For us, we basically get it from China and ship to us because we need a sort of a custom size, which our, local businesses don't actually offer. So those are the basics that you need. So basically, it's very important to, also understand the shipping zones as well. So then, when you're setting your shipping zones on your website, then you can basically batch, all the countries in one zone. And then you don't have to like, add, different countries and things like that. It just is easier to manage and understand, the shipping time. So then you can also, put them together as well. And that's going to save you time. You can also sign up for an account on DHL. It's also going to offer much better rates if you are a business customer. So you probably need like your, business number, business name, things like that. And you probably need some information on estimated, how much you're going to ship. I think in the United States, there are some like shipping softwares that that give you the DHL rates, and you can use their rates. But I'm based in Australia, so basically I did have to sign up for my own business account and then connect it up to the software for me to actually ship. So same thing with FedEx, you can do that as well. And yeah, so basically this is an example, and I'm going to show you guys how to add in the shipping zones and the price on your WooCommerce website now. So you want to navigate to your WordPress website, to the dashboard section, and you want to hover over WooCommerce and then click on settings. And then we can navigate to the shipping tab. So from here, we can set in a zone. We're going to click on add zone. So the first zone, I'm just going to do domestic. So domestic or local. Here we can type in the country. I'm going to select Australia. And then for the shipping methods, we can set that in. So we're going to add a shipping method. The first one we're going to add in is just a standard one. So click on flat rate, continue. And I'm just going to label this as standard shipping. And then you may have the time frame. So you can check this with your postal carrier. So standard is 2 to 6 business days. Taxable, I'm going to set to none. You can check this with your country. For the cost, I'm going to do maybe $10. Create and save. So we can create another shipping method. So this one, we're going to do flat rate again. And it's going to be express. So express shipping and set to none. For the cost, we're going to do 15 and then add that in. So you can also, I forgot to actually add the time frame, so 1 to 4 business days. So that is for my local shipping options. Then once you're done, then we can actually click back to the shipping zones here and add in another zone. So let's say, for example, I want to create another zone. We can just add that in. So this one, we could do zone 1. And then let's say this is US and Canada. So this is what you see on the back end, not your customers. So here we can type in United States. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And then also Canada as well. Okay, you can also set in the specific regions as well within the country, depending on the pricing as well. For example, you can also do the zip codes. So for the shipping method, we're going to add a new one, and this one we're going to do a flat rate. So here we could do a standard, international. So I normally like to do international shipping so that the customers know that it is an international shipment, because sometimes some countries will have customs, duties, and taxes. So I like to add that in so then, people don't expect it to be a local shipment and then they get angry. So they know that up front. And then here we can add in the shipment days, 6 to 10 business days, like that. And then the cost, I'm going to do $10 again, create and save. And here we can add in another one. You can do express. I'm going to do maybe just DHL. So DHL International. Something like that. And then this one, the cost, I'm going to do $50. So it is quite expensive. It is very fast, but it is quite expensive. Set that in. And maybe if you want to do a free shipping method, we can add that in as well. So free shipping, continue. And I normally like to do free international shipping. And then you can add the time frame, so still the same, like that. And then I'm going to set in a requirement. So minimum order, maybe $100, $150, $200. It really depends on you and what you can actually offer. So we're going to create and save. So once that is done, then we can head back to the shipping zones and you can go ahead and add the rest. For the zones that you don't add, then no shipping methods will be available. So that is pretty much it in terms of adding in your shipping and the shipping prices. So later on, I'll show you guys basically the fulfillment process, how we actually use something called Shipstation to fulfill our orders. Like for example, print out the pick list and essentially printing off the shipping labels and sticking the shipping labels onto our package before sending that off. So there's just a few more things that we do need to touch on, and that's going to be just your general WooCommerce settings and taxes, as well as adding in your payment options. So you want to navigate to WooCommerce and WooCommerce settings, and then you want to click on your general tab. Here you want to enter in your address, as well as the selling locations, the countries that you want to ship to. So you can set those in specifically, or you can sell to all countries. But if you don't, then if you don't have the shipping zones anyway, then it's not going to show any shipping options for that specific country. And here we can also click on enable taxes and calculations. Scrolling down over here, you can set your currency as well. And once you're done that, then we can click on the Save Changes, and then we can click on the taxes. So with the taxes, what I do recommend is actually taking advantage of a plugin. You can actually navigate to the plugin section, plugins, and then what you can do is you can download a plugin which is called the WooCommerce Shipping and Tax. So if you don't have that installed, you can click on Add New Plugin, and with that plugin, it can help you calculate the taxes for each country dependent on your shipping location. So it's this one over here, WooCommerce Shipping and Taxes. And right now it's telling me to update, so I'm going to update that. And then what you can do once you've done that, then you'll actually need a WordPress.com account before it starts to calculate those taxes. So if you actually click on plugins again, then you want to connect your site to activate that plugin. So we want to connect it to the WordPress.com account. So we're going to click on connect. So if this is your first time, then generally you won't have an account, and you can sign up for a free WordPress.com account. So I'm just going to continue. And then I'm going to log in to my current account. If you don't, then you can also create one for free. So I'm just going to click on approve. Okay, and the setup is complete. So got it, thanks. The next thing that I want to show you is adding in the payment options for your website so you guys can accept credit cards or PayPal. So you want to navigate to WooCommerce settings and then click on the payments tab. So from here, you can enable the WooCommerce or WooPayments, and you can select it here. You may want to install it first if you have not installed it. We can go ahead and enable it, but we do have to connect it. Generally, you will need your business details for you to actually sign up. So WooPayments is actually using Stripe to basically facilitate the credit card transactions. So you can actually sign up an account on Stripe directly as well, and then connect it after, or you can do it through your WordPress dashboard area. Once you've installed and activated WooPayments, then you'll have that in your plugins, and then you can navigate to payments here and click on verify business details. From here, they'll basically ask you a few questions. I'm going to set it to company. So you may want to set it as individual if you're individual as well. I'm going to set this in here, proprietary, and I'm going to select clothing and accessories, continue, and less than that. And then also my store is already live, continue. From here, we need to add a bit of information. So I actually have a Stripe account ready. So I'm just going to log into that one, but you may need to create your own. So you just need to follow the prompts and add in your information, and then click on agree and submit. Okay, so I think that is ready to go. So that store has been verified. Now, if you want to accept other payment gateways, then you'll need to go to the plugins over here, and you can actually install other plugins, like for example, for PayPal, or if you're in India, I think Razorpay is something that is a popular payment gateway there, and you can search for it. So for example, PayPal, click on enter. And the process is fairly similar. You'll probably need to create an account if you don't have one already, like a business account on the specific platform that you do want to receive money on. For example, WooCommerce Payments, you can install and activate, and you'll just basically need to follow the prompts to create an account. It's fairly easy to do that. So I'm going to leave you guys to that. So once you've actually set up the payments, you want to navigate to tax, the tax tab in the WooCommerce settings. So from here, you want to enable the automated taxes. So I think this is especially important if you're based in the United States, where you have different states. Sometimes it's like the origin-based taxes, and then you've also got the destination-based tax states. So it gets quite complicated, and sometimes the taxes are different. You want to enable that, and then you can go ahead and save those changes. Then we can go to the visit site. And if we actually go to the checkout, okay, so as you can see, I'm based in Australia, and this is adding the GST, which is 10% to the product price. And then it's also adding the shipping in there, right? So it's automated taxes. And then here, the customer can actually pay via credit card, and once they pay, then they'll receive a order confirmation. You'll also receive an order confirmation, and then you will also get a order in here. So if you actually scroll down to WooCommerce, and then you can click on orders, and then you'll receive an order over here, okay? And then you can actually fulfill that order. So something that you can use is a shipping software, for example, Shipstation. So there are also other softwares that basically can connect to your WooCommerce store to make shipping a lot easier, especially if you're shipping a lot of packages. You can actually pre-fill a lot of the information, and you can also connect it to different postage shipping carriers so that you're able to choose the right rate. So for example, let's say, for example, I'm in Australia and I can choose the Oz Post, or if I'm also also have an account with a different carrier, I can also choose them if they're cheaper, because sometimes different carriers will have different rates for countries. And then also I can connect my DHL account in there, and then basically I can choose the DHL option as well. So all the shipping options are in one place, and I'll show you just a quick overview of how we actually fulfill our orders. Okay, so I just want to show you guys our process when it comes to shipping items off. So the first thing that we normally do is, number one, is print off the pick list. So the pick list is going to include what items we need to pick for that specific customer. So the next step that we need to do is to find the items on our shelves. So we actually label all the items on the shelves here. And let's say, for example, we need to pick a specific item, then we'll go ahead and pick it. And we'll also pack it into a dust bag as well, because that looks a little bit nicer, just for branding purposes. And they can also reuse that dust bag as well for storage. The other thing that we also pack is a installation material, because people need it to install this item onto their product. So then we just pack it into the bag. And we also pack a installation card as well. So then we just basically put the installation card in here. Okay. So then from there we choose a packing bag. So dependent on how many we need to ship. So we have a smaller size one, which is good for like 1 to 2 pieces. And then we've also got another size here, which is good for like larger size, maybe 2 pieces or 3 pieces. So if we actually need to ship more than 3 pieces, then we have medium-sized boxes. So this is good for like 3 to 4 pieces of items. And we've also got a larger size box up here as well, which is good for 5 to 6 pieces. And on the top over there, we have boxes that can fit like a dozen or so of our products in there. So the next thing that we do is we actually pack it into the bags. So we put it into the bags here. So when you are essentially buying like the packing bags, you want to make sure that you choose the right size, because if you choose the wrong sizes, then it can be a little bit more expensive, because sometimes it's actually based on the dimensions for the shipping cost. So then basically we just stick it together, and then for example that is done, then we'll weigh it. So we need the actual weight, so we can actually put it into the system, so we can go ahead and pay for that. So we just jot down the name as well, because later on we'll need to stick on the shipping label, and we want to make sure you match it to the right package. So once that is done, we will normally just put that aside and continue packing all the other items as well. And we will also put the pick list into the actual package as well, like that. And then from there, we'll go into our computer and I'll show you guys what we do. So let's say, for example, you get a new order from your WooCommerce store, then the orders will show up in your WooCommerce orders dashboard section. For example, this one over here, 1639. And if you have a shipping software connected, for example, with Shipstation, you can also use other softwares as well. You'll basically need to connect your store to Shipstation, and you can follow the prompts here to connect it. It's fairly easy. You just need to connect the APIs. And then once you're connected, it's going to pull in that order. So as you can see here, 1639, it's pulled in the order from our WooCommerce store into the shipping software that you have basically connected with your shipping carriers. From here, we can click into the order. So you can either select it and you can click into it and you can set in the shipment details, for example, the weight, as well as selecting the service here. You can also just select it and it'll also appear on the right hand side here. That way you can sort of navigate everything really, really quickly from order to order, and you can print your pick list in bulk. So for example, you can select all of them and you can select print. You can print the packing list all together, and you can also print and create all the labels together. So it's just a lot faster in terms of the shipping process. Otherwise, it's just going to be really, really slow. And let's say, for example, before when we packed the order, I think it was around 1 kilo. So let's just put in 1 kilo here. And then here we can select the service that we have connected to. So this could be like Ozpost, USPS, DHL, or anything like that. And you can connect your carriers in the actual settings area. So over here, and then you can click on shipping carriers and then your carriers, and you can add your special accounts with your different shipping carriers. And if we go back over here, then we can select the package. So you can also create sort of preset package sizes, and you can set the sizes in here. So for example, I put in 50, 45, and 2. You can also do the confirmation. For example, do you have authority to leave or no authority to leave it? And then you can also add in assurance as well. And then you've got the actual shipping rate that you pay. So with Shipstation, you can connect it with your card, or you can also top it up with sort of money as well. And it's going to deduct that amount from your balance. So once you're happy with that, the shipping rate, then we can click on create and print label. So normally we would actually print off all the labels together and then stick it onto the package. So over here, this is just one, and we can save it or you can just print it off directly. For example, just print, and then I have my printer over here. So then I would get a shipping pouch, and then essentially I would basically get the label and then I'll fold it up. Okay, so it's gonna look something like this. So you don't need a thermal printer yet, and you can just fold it up like that, and then it'll have the barcode over here. So then you can just put it into a shipping pouch, and then you can essentially just stick the shipping pouch on your package, and you can either drop it off at a drop-off point, or you can schedule a pickup depending on what arrangement you have with the postage company. And basically that's it. So once they've scanned it in, then normally if you've set it up properly, your customers will get a shipping notification with their tracking number so they can track it themselves, and the order will be fulfilled. So I think that is pretty much it for this WooCommerce tutorial. Hopefully you guys have found something of value. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can also drop it in the comment section below. I'll also leave all the resources and links that I mentioned in the video in the description as well. So thank you guys, and see you guys in the next video.